Today, I'm gonna show you how to burn your own screen and show you the entire screen printing process beginning to end. First, you're gonna need a screen. There's wooden ones and aluminum ones, but I will recommend to purchase an aluminum one. They last a lot longer and they're way easier to clean because screen printing can get a little messy. I bought this one 5 years ago and it's still running to this date. Now, each screen comes with its own mesh number, which means that for every little square inch on the screen, there's 155 little squares. The higher the mesh number, the higher detail designs that you can print. But I don't want to confuse you. If you're just starting, stick to 110s or 155. They're more beginner friendly and easier to start with. When you purchase a new screen, it's always recommended to degrease it, which means clean it. It may look like it's clean, however, it's not. It may carry dust, dirt, or any type of debris. Just to be on the safe side, go clean it. You can use dish soap, degreaser, or my favorite, a dehazer. This is a personal choice. I start by adding a little bit to my scrub pad, and then I scrub the front and work my way to the back in circular motion. Next, I let my screen sit down for a good 30 seconds to a minute just so the dehazer has enough time to work. Then I rinse it front and back, and you don't need a power washer or a washout booth. You can honestly do this in your backyard with your water hose or even with a spray bottle. But obviously, with the right equipment, you will work a lot faster. After that, you need your screen to dry. You can air dry it, or to speed up the process, put a fan in front of it so it can dry faster. Once our screen is dry, we need to apply emulsion onto it ASAP. The correct way to add emulsion will be with a scoop coater. It has a round side and a thin side, but a good 99% of the time I use the thin side. So that's what we're using. If my scoop coater looks a little beat up, it's because I had it over 5 years. Pretty crazy, huh? Now, there's a lot of different brands of emulsion, but for this video, we're focusing specifically on this one for 3 main reasons. First, it's beginner friendly. Second, it's affordable. And third, the most important, I like the color red. All right, let's open this up. Just remember, whenever you're pouring emulsion into the scoop coater, make sure not to fill it up more than halfway. This is gonna save you from making a huge mess. I had to learn the hard way. And I will recommend to use a cardboard box on the bottom in case you do spill. First, we have to make sure that the emulsion is nice and even on the scoop coater. Next, we're going to tilt our screen a 45-degree angle. And we're gonna grab our scoop coater and press it against the mesh. As soon as the emulsion makes contact with the mesh, we're gonna add a little bit of more pressure and swipe it up all the way to the top. And we tilt our screen to the opposite side so the emulsion can drip back into the scoop coater. So the ratio that I'm using is 1 pass in the back and 1 pass in the front. Then I'm going back to the back and scraping all the extra emulsion. But I finished the last scrape in the front of the screen. This prevents bubbles on your screen. That's when you add a lot of emulsion and it starts to drip down, making it look like a bubble. After all of that, I let my screens dry with the squeegee side facing up, not sideways. If you didn't know, this is the squeegee side and this is the print side. Once again, if you want to speed up the drying process, put your screens in front of a fan for a good hour or let them dry overnight and they should be good and ready to go by the next day. As soon as you finish coating your screens, you need to scrape back all that extra emulsion back into the container. And right away, go rinse that scoop coater before the emulsion starts to dry. Because when it dries, it's gonna be a huge hassle cleaning it. Now, emulsion is light sensitive, but you don't need a dark room. You can actually coat them in a room like this. That's regular light room. But when you do dry them, they have to be in a dark place. It could be your closet, under your bed, under your table, in a box. It doesn't matter. All it matters is that it has to be a dark place. That's it. The biggest enemy of emulsion is sunlight. So please avoid any contact with sunlight. If you're indoors and there's a window with the sun facing inside, make sure to cover that window. Regular light like this is good, but sunlight, it's a no-no. No-no. Next is your artwork. You're gonna need an inkjet printer and you're going to need transparency paper. But if you can't afford an inkjet printer from the start, don't worry. You can easily print your art in UPS, FedEx, or any local print shop around your area. Well, you gotta call them first just to make sure that they do. But I'm pretty sure somebody in your area can print a transparency paper. Now, I'm gonna give you 3 solid tips that's gonna help your burning process run a lot smoother. First, you wanna make sure that your design is vectorized. Let me show you an example. When a design is vectorized, you can easily tell by the fine edges. So when you print it in your transparency film, it's gonna come out the same way. But when your design is pixelated, and you print it pixelated, and you burn it pixelated, it's gonna look blurry on the t-shirt. Probably not the whole design, but the edges will. So if you want a good quality print, you need a good quality design. Second, this one is very simple. Add registration marks to your design. It's gonna help you align and center the design into the screen, which is gonna help you register your screen to your press or wherever you're printing. Third, make sure that when you print your film positive, it's dark and opaque, like this. Here's a quick example. Pay attention to my finger and just look how it disappears behind the design. You see? This is something that we're looking for. You can see it here, but you can't see it over here. Now, the proper way and the best way to burn a design into a screen is with an exposure unit. But I know for a fact that a lot of people can't afford one from the start, so I found a better solution. Well, Screenprint found a solution. I just found their solution to help my solution to help your... Doesn't even matter. Let me go show it to you. It's a budget-friendly UV LED exposure unit, specifically made for hobbyists or somebody who's trying to get their feet wet into screen printing. Let's go set it up. That was easier than I expected. Once again, I know that a lot of people can't afford a power washer or don't have the space for it, so I found another solution, which is really cheap. Spray bottle. We're gonna use a spray bottle. We're also going to need glass. I got this one from a picture frame of my mother-in-law. I'm just kidding. The glass is gonna add pressure on the film positive, making it have full contact with the mesh. And yes, make sure to wipe it down. The foam is optional, but it could definitely add more pressure to the mesh from the bottom. Now, when you're aligning the design to the back of the screen, make sure that you do it the opposite way. And as soon as you got everything where you want it, tape it down so it won't move. I start by adding the foam underneath the light. Then I lay my screen over the foam. Note this, the foam goes inside the screen. Next, I add the glass over the transparency film, focusing specifically on the design. After all of that, I turn off the lights and I let the UV exposure light do its job. I gave the exposure time a full minute. As soon as the time was up, I took the glass off, I took the film off, and I rinsed it front and back so the emulsion could stop hardening. I was dropping water all over the shop, so I had to take my little project outside. Once again, I rinsed it front and back, and I gave the design a small rub so the emulsion could start to get soft. But this one was a big fail. I overexposed the image. On top of that, I was using the wrong spray bottle. I was using my water and soap bottle. This is the reason why I was getting a lot of foam. But I was still able to save the screen with my power washer, so it wasn't a fail. Either way, I tried it again with the same steps, but this time I reduced the time to 30 seconds. And once again, I rinsed the front, the back, rubbed the front and the back, and started popping that design off. I started with one spray bottle, but then I turned Super Saiyan with two. After a good 15 to 20 minutes, the job was done. Well, almost. The screen still needed to dry. So I gave it a good shake and let it sit under the sun. Or if you want to speed up the process, put it in front of a fan. Now we're done. If you made it this far, thank you. And I got some good news for you guys. Screen Printer Rack and I are giving away this exposure unit plus the emulsion and a brand new screen with your design in it, so you can start printing. And all you gotta do is tell me in the comments your favorite color. Now let's get back to work. Oh, wait, there's a bigger giveaway. Screen Printer Rack is giving away free emulsion for a full year. That's like $800. And all you gotta do is sign up with the link in my bio. I'm gonna add it to the description. Good luck, everybody. To be honest, guys, I was really impressed with the speed of the exposure. I read a lot of good reviews on the emulsion, but 30 seconds is pretty fast. If you're gonna use a power washer, I would recommend to burn your screen between 30 to 45 seconds. For a spray bottle and a garden hose, I would say a good 25 to 30 seconds. But I still have to put it through one more test. Come on, you should already know. Pretty awesome project, right? Now I'm gonna give you the top 3 mistakes beginners make. First, your emulsion is not fully dry. Second, your film positive is not dark enough. Third, you're overexposing or underexposing. It was a fun project. Thank you for sticking around with me. If you guys want to learn how to screen print, make sure to check out this video. Have a beautiful day, and God bless you all.